So let your eyes relax, soften, maybe even close if that's comfortable for you. Just notice what's going on with your breathing. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Does it feel natural? Does it feel forced? Start to tune into that feeling of the breath coming in and going out. Take your hands, place them on the middle of your upper chest. Start to feel the rise and fall as you breathe. Now take one hand, place it down on your belly. Think about sending the breath down to that lower hand. So you're pressing the air down into your diaphragm, deepening that inhale. That lower hand rise and fall as that belly inflates. Now shifting your focus to your exhale. Breathe in and then exhale slowly and completely. Getting all the air out. Making room for what's next. That next inhale. Let your hands drop. Open your eyes if they're closed. Come back into the room. Once again, together, do a little bit of a warm up, starting with our feet. Let's do our ankle circles. So your feet can be on the ground or hover above, either way, whatever feels easiest right now, because we're just warming up. Want to circle those ankles in one way and then the other way, waking them up. And let's just kick our feet a little bit, like a little kid, kicking our feet out, waking up our legs. Finding some playfulness in this. And then letting our feet plant back on the floor. And let's wake up our hips and our legs a little more. Take your legs out wide and just let them go back and forth a little bit. Just waking them up. Knees are going from side to side. Hands can rest on the knees if that's comfortable, or to the side. And then come to stillness with the legs a little wide still. And let's wake up the waist. Just turn in a circular motion, one way, whatever way feels good to start with. Hula hooping here in our chairs. Can be anywhere from a small circle where you're just barely shifting from side to side and around, or it can be a larger motion that feels good. And then reverse it. Up, waist, torso, abdomen, lower back, hips are getting in on it. And let's pause here. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Just a gentle twist, looking over the right shoulder. Nothing too extreme. And Neck can follow, but don't try to push it too hard. And let's come back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left. And come back to center. Bring your feet closer together, just regular hip distance apart, feet flat on the ground. Inhale, look up, press your chest forward. Exhale, curl your spine, look down at your belly button. Inhale up. Exhale, curl. Inhale up. Exhale, curl. Inhale up. And exhale, curl. And then pausing here. Let's roll the shoulders back a few times. And then forward. Rolling the neck and just a semicircle from side to side. And coming to pause here. Let the right ear come down towards the right shoulder. Pull the chin in. If it's sticking out like mine was, you can just pull it in a little bit. This is a gentle opener on the opposite side of your neck. And let's come up and go to the other side. Pulling the chin in. Noticing how it feels on the long side, as well as the side that's compressed a little bit. What's going on in there? And let's come back up. Your next inhale, take your arms up overhead and reach. We're going to stay here for a moment, so continue to breathe. And now stretch one arm up towards the ceiling, then the other. Just going at your own pace, like you're trying to grab something high up on that ceiling. And bring your arms down. And let's do a little core activation. So we can do that by doing some leg lifts. So it's going to involve your legs too, but let's focus on our abdomen and tightening our core and our lower back and abdominal area as we do this. So what we're going to do is pull up one leg and then down. Pull up the other leg and down. So it's almost like a marching, but you're doing it a little slower, more deliberately, focusing on pulling in on your abs as you do it. All in the intention. What are we trying to do? And let's come to stillness. Next, we're going to do some activation on an angle. So you're going to do opposite elbow to opposite knee, kind of like bicycles. We used to do these in gym class on the ground. You remember those? And this, again, can be at your pace. So it can be very slow or more of a faster pace. So you don't have to do it at the same pace. be slower, faster. And this again, focus on those abs, pulling those legs and arms and those strange new directions. And release. Okay, going back towards the legs. Let's start with the right leg. And if you want, you can sit more forward in your chair if that's easier for you. If not, you can stay back. You'll just keep your leg a little more bent. And if you're sitting more on the edge, you can straighten it more. So that's your choice. And from here, we're going to do a leg lift. So let's take the right leg slightly off the ground and then down. Be a little better. So I have my leg out straight and I'm lifting it just a couple inches off. The other way, if you're sitting further back, your leg will be more bent and you're just picking that heel up however feels good to you. And let's pause here, switch legs. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stretch that left leg out, either straight or bent, and we're just lifting it. And as we're doing this motion, focus on the muscles in your legs. So your thigh and your calf and your shin, all that whole area, squeezing to make this happen. Notice where you're feeling it. Is it your thigh? Is it your calf? Where is this happening? And let's come back. Feet planted once again. Sitting up straight. Think about your crown of your head reaching up towards that ceiling. Breathing here. Inhale, and then squeeze your glutes, your butt together. Hold your breath for a second, and then exhale, release. So we're going to do that with your own breath pace. On the inhale, you start to squeeze. You hold your breath for a few seconds, and then exhale, release. So inhale, squeeze, 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 and release. Inhale, squeeze, 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 and release. Let's do one more. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the buttocks together, and then release. Great. Take a nice deep breath here. Start moving into the upper body. So if you like to use weights, you can pick them up. If not, body weight is perfectly fine. We'll start with bicep curls. So we're going to do them alternating. So we'll do one arm and then the other. Going up and down at your own pace. You want to feel the contraction in that bicep as you're pulling it up and on the way down as well. Thanks. And let's come to a pause. Deep breath here. Inhale, arms come up, hands are around shoulder level. Exhale and press up. So this can be straight overhead and then inhale down, exhale up, or more of a V shape if that feels safer for your shoulders. So you know your body best. We're going for an overhead press. So we're using lots of muscles in these arms and shoulders and upper back and chest with this motion. What we're going for is pushing on the way up. And now think about squeezing on the way down. And bring your elbows further down. Squeeze on your back. So it's a similar motion. We're just pulling those elbows further down and squeezing. And then let's bring the arms down, take a pause, deep breath here. Arms come down to the side. And I think I'm going to be hitting something. So I'm going to move out of the way. We're going for lateral raises. So arms come down to the side. Palms are facing your body. Inhale here. Exhale, and arms come up to a T and then back down. Up and down. Using your own pace. Thinking about, where do I feel this? What's happening? I'm feeling it across the top of my shoulder, kind of under my armpits a little bit, interestingly. And then the next time you come up to a T, let's stay there for a moment. Breathe here. And on your next exhale, turn your palms up. Slightly different muscles here. And now let's pulse. Just little movements here. See what that's like. A relationship with gravity here. And let's take a pause. Great job. That's not an easy one. From here, arms come out in front, but not straight at shoulder level, more like in belly level, but out in front of you. Inhale here. Exhale and pull your elbows back, shoulders squeeze on your back. And then inhale, arms come out. Exhale, pull. And we're focusing on that pulling motion and the squeeze that's happening in the mid to lower back. Somewhat of a rowing motion here. Continue at your pace. One more. And then let's stop here. Take a breath. Hands come up to shoulder level, elbows out wide. Inhale here, exhale and press. Inhale and then exhale on the press. So almost like you're doing a push-up, but seated. So we're on a different plane. Instead of pressing against the floor, we're pressing against the atmosphere in front of us. Press. Nice. Let's do one more. Press. And release. If you were using weights, you can set those to the side. Let's do a little shake. Inhale here. Exhale and just shake those hands at your side. Shake, shake, shake. Pick them up a little higher, maybe chest level, maybe shoulder level. See what it feels like to bring them up towards your head or even higher. You're just shaking and then maybe come back down. Maybe your body wants to get involved with the shaking a little bit, torso. And let's release. Do a little stretch out of these hamstrings. I got a little bit of work today. So for this one, take your right foot out in front of you. Keep that right foot somewhat bent still. So we're not going for a total straight leg here. You're going to keep that right foot flat on the ground at this point. So you can see what I'm talking about. So you'll notice my foot is flat. And my knee is still semi-bent. It's not completely bent. It's not completely straight. The other foot is just wherever's comfortable to support you. Inhale here and exhale. We're going to hinge at the hips over the right leg. Look down at that right foot. Keep the back of your neck long. And breathe here. So this is a technique I learned recently for hamstring stretching. That's not the straight leg. And it can, in some people, be a little bit more effective because you're not straining the hamstring as much. And let's come back up. Shake up the feet a little bit. And then switch. So the left leg comes out more in front, semi-bent, foot flat. Inhale here. And then exhale, hinge over that left leg. See if you notice where on your leg you may feel something. In the back of your leg, your thigh or your calf. If you're struggling to feel anything here, you can push your leg out more, a little bit, and play around with it. See what feels good. We're not going for any straining. We're going for a gentle stretch. And let's come back up to seated and have your feet planted, nice and stable. So the stretch, take the right foot out in front of you, similarly to what we did before. So the foot stays flat on the ground, but it's in front of you. And then the left is going to cross over somewhere not on a joint. So somewhere on your shin or on your thigh, not on the knee itself or the ankle itself. It can be right above or below. And if it's on your thigh, you can pull the other leg in more. So it's more like a cross-legged position you might be familiar with. Or if it's lower, it can be somewhere the ankle on the shin. What we're going for is an opening in this left hip right now. So pick the version that you like best. And hands could be anywhere that's comfortable. I like using them to kind of hold this shape for myself, but you do whatever feels good. Making sure to breathe here. And let's switch. We'll take the left ankle somewhere on top of, I got that wrong. It's the right ankle on top of the left leg somewhere. I tend to get confused when I'm crossing things for some reason. Interesting where you feel this. I'm feeling it on the outer hip right now on this side. Okay, let that release. We still have yet to do. All right. Let's do a forward fold. And this is also a choose your own adventure of how you like to do this. So legs can be together or apart. We can go hinging at the hips, slightly over the legs, like so. So it's a very subtle movement. That's option one. Option two would be to go further down and let your body hang over your knees. And then option three would be with the legs wide and using your forearms to support yourself on your thighs. And the final option would be to take your hands all the way down to the floor and let your head hang. So you get to choose which bus stop works for you today. But wherever you're at, make sure to breathe. On your next inhale, wherever you're at, slowly come up, bring your head up. If your legs were out, you can bring them in. We want to, again, find that comfortable seat where we're stable on our chairs, feel fully supported. Deep breath. Let it out with a sigh. Take a moment to acknowledge ourselves for making time for this class tonight. Not always easy to carve out this half hour out of our busy days, but we're here. I salute you. And I would like to mention that tomorrow I have another class happening. It's a workshop, so it's a little longer. It's a 90-minute workshop all about regulating your nervous system around the holidays when there's a lot of stress and stuff going on. So it'll be some information as well as some movement interspersed in there, that kind of a workshop format. And that is listed on my website, on Meetup, and Eventbrite. So it's on all different places where you may have found this class. And that's happening tomorrow at 6:30. And you're welcome. It's totally free to come to that. And I will follow up with an email with a recording of this class tomorrow as well. So as usual, I'm here for a few minutes if you have questions or comments. But otherwise, I want to wish you a wonderful Tuesday. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.